Okay, my fellow nerds. Um, this time we're actually in the pool. So as I'm spinning around, oh, yep, we just hit like the water jet part of the pool. So it's beautiful out though, and I wanted to share the pool time, and hopefully I don't lose my computer in the water. Today we are going to be talking about Mencía. Mencía. So if you go to the wine store and you say you want to try Mencía, they should know what you're talking about. However, the traditional pronunciation and the pronunciation I learned is Mencía. So if you want to be kind of old school, that is the old world pronunciation of it. And I say go buy some now before people catch on because this is such a great grape. The wines are delicious. And unfortunately, I think people are figuring it out and it's going to go up in price would be my best guess. All right, so the agenda for today, we will talk, of course, about the Mencía grape. Where does it grow? I'm not going to subject you to Google Earth because there's a lot of places. I just tell you the latitudes, nerding out a little bit. The flavor profile, food pairings, other wines to try if you end up liking it, because I promised we would start doing that. And then Kolor is the wine that we will actually be drinking. Oh, I can't see anything. This is great. Come on. All right, so the Mencía grape. Okay, just ignore this map because I know it's really blurry. So like cover that side of your screen for a second. We'll come back to this very blurry map. So the Mencía grape, I don't know why this is the bottom bullet. It's also, and I don't mean most commonly also known, I mean when it is also known as something else, it is most commonly known as Jaén. It has a whole bunch of other names. Like the one you will hear most often is Jaén, and that is what it is called in Portugal. So the Mencía grape is a child of the Afro-Cairo grape and the Patora grape. Now, Patora seems to have gone the way of the dodo. I couldn't find any wines of that, but there are still some Afro-Cairo wines out there. So obviously I want to get my hands on one and see what it's like. Both of these come from Portugal. They come from the regions of Douro and Douro. So this is where I tried to overlay one map on the other, and like no matter how hard I tried, I could not get it to line up exactly and not be blurry, and I don't understand why. But the northern red dot is the Douro, and the southern red dot is the Dow, but you can see both are above that 40 north latitude line. So where else is Mencía grown now? If you are studying for your certifications or anything like that, you will hear a lot about Bierzo. It is one of Bierzo's prime grapes. It's awesome. It's delicious when it comes from there. Bierzo is just above the 42.3 north latitude line. It is also grown in Monterrey, which is actually just below the 42. It is grown in Ribera Sacra, which is also just above the 42.3. It is grown, I have another floaty attacking me. It is grown in, now I can't see anything, Valdeorras, Spain, which is the 42.2. And then the lowest we're getting is actually the Dow again in Portugal, sitting at 40.31. Now this, again, this picture, let's see if I can unshare and reshare my screen. If you speak Spanish, I'm sorry in advance. So the Valdria de Abajo, don't cry. Stop crying. I'm so sorry. And you can see the red dot on the map there. So it is Spain. It's just north of Portugal. That is where the Kolor wine is coming from, and that's what we'll be drinking today. So just so you have some idea of where it comes from and where the one we're drinking comes from. Oh, man. All right, let's go back to sharing the PowerPoint. This picture over here, I pulled actually right off of Google Street View, just because I thought it was a really nice, it just looks so relaxing. Like you could sit there and drink your wine and look at, there's an ocean in the background. Anyway, so that is where this wine is coming from. All right, so tasting notes. I tried to have some fun with Smart Art, and I don't know, you're either gonna hate this or you're gonna love it. So we've got medium plus acid, medium plus tannin, medium plus body, high alcohol. So that's what all of these little graphs represent. We're looking at a pretty bold grape here, is I guess what I would say. Okay, now we're looking at the flavor profile. So I divided this into your primary, secondary, and tertiary notes. If you're studying or you've been following along with my study, so the primary notes always come from the grape. The secondary notes come from the vinification process, so malolactic conversion, oaking, whatever, and then your tertiary flavors come from aging. So we are expecting some floral. I hear some people say floral, some people say not floral. So I guess it's just going to depend on where it's being grown, what the viticulturists are doing to it, etc. But we can expect red fruit, pomegranate, cherries, strawberries, black fruits like bramble and blackberry, some herbaceous or herbal notes. So we're looking at bitter cucumber peel. And then I put charred shishito in the second because that's more likely sort of a combination of a primary herbal and the oaking process. And then you can get some pungent spices like black pepper. And then we're going to look for other flavors like minerally, gravelly flint and some licorice, which sometimes you'll express as anise. To me, I just get straight anise, not so much the licorice. Secondary flavors, because people do like to oak this grape. So you're going to get the vanilla, some bitter chocolate, mushroom, white truffle, and then back to those charred shishitos. And then this is sort of a pop quiz. Most of the ones I was looking at, because I did look at a lot of flavor profiles of a lot of Menthias, and now I want to try all of them. Most of them did not list tertiary flavors, but I think it's because they weren't aged. So with aging, you're just going to expect a lot of those fruit notes to kind of dry or get very ripe. So think of like very ripe strawberries or maybe dried cherries. You might be looking at candied bramble. It just is basically what happens to fruit when it ages. It's going to happen in this wine. But because, I don't remember if I get to this on another slide. So we talk about wines that have ageability, and with red wines, you call them fat red wines. So fruit, acid, tannin. This has all of those, so it meets the criteria for being very ageable. I'm not going to age this one because I want to drink it, but if I got my hands on a good one, I would consider aging it just to see what happened. Okay. There was a video a few videos ago where I couldn't remember what the rhyme was. And I think I said something about like, if it's from the same country, it's going to be good together. The rhyme is what grows together goes together, which is just a way of saying that if you're having Italian wine, have Italian food. If you're having German wine, have German food. That kind of idea. So here, so this top quadrant, sorry, I guess I should be pointing this way. The top one is, I believe it's called a cecina. It's kind of like it's just a cured meat, somewhat reminiscent of chorizo. And then if you slide over, that is some dill infused, I wanted it to be sheep's cheese, but it might actually be goat cheese. Both of those would go really, really well with those, especially if you're building like a charcuterie platter. And then the bottom one is this kind of, I can't remember what they're called. It's not arancini because that's not Spanish or Portuguese, but it's a stuffed mushroom dish. I'm sure I link it when I give the credits. So go and check out the recipes, make some food, drink some wine. Okay, now I'm actually really excited to talk about what wines this is similar to, because historically this was mistaken for Cabernet Franc. But Cab Franc is going to be a little bit lower in the body alcohol and tannin. It's going to be more of the red fruits, pepper and gravel, less of the black fruits, and less of the Cab Franc floral. I'm feeling like no, I don't. Maybe it depends on if you're blending it or drinking it straight. This is definitely going to be similar to Syrah. So if you like Syrah, try Mencía. If you like Mencía, try Syrah. They're going to be very similar in terms of your acid, tannin, alcohol body, all kind of medium plus high, a little more towards the black fruits now. So you're going to have a lot more of the blackberry, black bramble, maybe some black plum. I would even say black cherry, but you'll have similar notes with the peppers and the chocolates with the potential for tobacco, which sometimes vanilla and tobacco kind of go hand in hand for me. So if you like the vanilla, and you might like the tobacco. And then last, try Xena Mavro, which is a little bit higher in the acid and tannin, and it has those darker red fruits, but highlights the anise. So if you like the licorice of the Mencía, try the Xena Mavro. And this also has like a lot of allspice when you oak it, instead of the vanilla and chocolate. So these would be my top three. But there are also a whole bunch of Italian wines that are very similar. So I'm not going to kind of go in exactly to the details of all of these, but Barbera, going to be a great choice. Etna Rosso, Nebbiolo, Nero d'Avola, and Zweigelt, all going to be excellent wines to try and broaden your horizons if you like the Mencía grape. And honestly, if you like Syrah, probably you're good to try all of these also. So go build your collection. All right, let's see where we are. Okay, wrap up. Great. So this is a picture I took on my kitchen floor, which is why it's not credited. There was originally a cat in it, so I retook it. Wrap up. All right, so keep an eye out for Mencía. It's not yet expensive, but I have a feeling it's going to be like sancerre, and people are going to discover it, and it's going to become popular, and embraces are going to go through the roof. It is a great food wine, which also makes it a great party wine. And I want to, if you remember, so like I didn't drop that in the water. If you remember this book from a few times ago, I really like, they actually list it in the back. We talked about, you know, they've got pizza wines, beach day wines, under great wines to bring to a party. They list Jura, which is also good, or Mencía. And it says, it's all but certain there will be a lot of Pinot Noir and Sauvignon Blanc arriving with other guests, which presents an opportunity for you to share something interesting with the group. You could go for something like an affordable Spanish red from the Mencía grape. And I would 100% agree with it. Plus, how party happy does this bottle look? I do actually like it. And part of the reason I'm doing it is also because we're wrapping up Pride Month. This is not designed for Pride. It's not pink washing. It comes from an artist that we'll talk about shortly, but it is still a fun bottle to bring to those parties because it's just so colorful and happy. Okay, we talked about the fat. Okay, I knew we were going to talk about it. So we covered that already, but you can definitely age this wine. And then next time, I don't know if we're actually going to exactly talk about like the USA. We will be having a California red blend. And I think what I want to talk about though is kind of trying to cover all of the US wines is going to be too much. But I would like to talk a little bit about the history of wine in the US because I think it answers a lot of questions about why it's so different from old world wines. So I believe we may be on to the drinking part. I'm gonna have to like paddle back over to the porch. All right, so the thank yous will go to yep. So on the far left for you, it'll be just kind of like some resources that I used, and then in the middle, a lot of the pictures that I used. Wait, no. In the middle is yeah, it's the pictures that I used. And then on the end, I'm gonna just move me. Hold on one sec. Move me out of, did I not move me? Oh, there we go. Yep. On that far end is kind of the links that we will actually be looking about the color. So now I think that's it. End of slideshow. Yes, 11 of 11. So I'm going to stop sharing this screen and we will go to some of the sites about the color wine. Oops. The official color wine website. And you can see it's kind of this like, oh, my computer's getting so hot. It's this collaboration between the winemaker, Raul Perez, and the artist, Okuda San Miguel. So this just kind of talks about them, gives a little bit of the history about Raul Perez, and then a little bit, oh, I think we missed Okuda. He's up here somewhere. There he is. A little bit about Okuda San Miguel. I'm definitely linking this in the video description. Absolutely go check it out. Another one I would recommend you check out, and I will link this one in the video description also, and note which one it is. This one, which talks about the Kolor project, because this was a big project. Yeah, an experience point from the joint work of the winemaker and the artist. And then if you come down here and you've got a few minutes to spare, okay, stop going down, go up. I watched this video and it was really, really interesting. It's Spanish, but it's subtitled, so very easy to follow along. Just super cool seeing the way these two artists interact. And then finally, and this is just a fun fact, I drive past this mural on the regular, and I had no idea it was Okuda San Miguel. Like, absolutely not a clue. So when I saw it, I was like, are you kidding me? The was made by the same guy who makes this wine. So I just feel kind of like, I don't know, almost like I don't know, like an attachment or a connection. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, we're going to, it's getting so dangerous. I'm going to move this whole floaty with my computer on it onto the deck. Oh, that was so dangerous. Oh my God. All right, here we go. Off the floaty, into the pool. I'm going to be lucky if people just don't unfollow me after this. Okay, so here is my version. It's sweating a little. I had it in the fridge because I knew this video would take a really long time to make. And I didn't want it to be too warm. I feel like the computer's gonna overheat, so we're just gonna put it down here in the shade. Okay. I'm gonna pour this. If you saw the picture on the first slide, that one was actually a picture of the wine that I poured and was checking the color. So here we go. Oops, something fell. Oh well. Oh God, it smells incredible. Oh my God. Okay, just having a moment. All right, let's go through our list. Floral. I could definitely get like a honeysuckle blossom, to be honest. But after that, I more get the herbal vegetal smells. So I don't think it's that kind of stops being floral, kind of becomes more like leaf. So red fruits. So I'm actually not getting, am I getting the pomegranate? I get the strawberry. I get raspberry, interestingly. I get a candied something. How old is this? Say the year. It has to say the year. If it's vintage, it has to. Are you serious? I swear there's a year in here somewhere. If I find it, oh, there we go, 2019. Condensation makes everything really hard to read. So actually, yeah, I mean, that's 5 years. I could definitely be getting a candied fruit at this point. The anise just hit, and I actually love anise. So I am, oh God, it smells like heaven. Okay, I'm sorry. I feel like I'm just making you guys like jealous. I hope you're drinking wine with me because that is ideal right now. Oh my God, the anise. Okay, sorry. It's gonna be really hard not to drink this. I'm not lying. Like this is so good. Oh my God. Okay. Palette. Floral's gone. Floral's only on the nose for me. Cherry. Not getting the raspberry anymore. I should probably start saying things like follow and subscribe before I do this because I'm sure a lot of people, the acid's getting me. A lot of people stop watching when I start tasting the wine. They're like, what is she doing? Tannins. But the tannins are fine. These are fine tannins. These are nice. There's the anise. I get the flint and the gravel on the palate. I wasn't actually getting it so much on the nose. Once you know the anise is there though, it's like actual red licorice, not like Twizzlers. Like it's not black licorice, but it's black licorice adjacent. If you haven't had red licorice, you're gonna be very confused what's happening right now. This is amazing. Please go get some Mencía. Give it a try. If you want to try the color, seriously, go watch the videos that I put in the link. I promise they're like super fun. It's not that long. And yeah, go get yourself some Mencía. Let me know what you think. And I will see you next week.